Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Mysterious Unexplained Explained. This is Kyle and I'm Jim, and today we're going to be talking about what, Kyle?
We're going to be talking about the Mandela Effect. Hey guys, welcome back. We're here with Sean. He's kind of a fellow enthusiast, Mandela Effect enthusiast. Basically, I just wanted to kind of pick his brain, kind of see what he's come up with. We've never really talked about it before, so I wanted to pick his brain, kind of see, his conclusions, what he's come up with, and we'll just kind of put our heads together and maybe we'll come up with a rational explanation.
Thanks, Kyle. I watched originally a video about Max Laughlin, this 13-year-old kid that he's the smartest person that I've ever seen on the internet, which is, you never know what you're going to find on the internet. But
this show, for one.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure if that makes him a winner or not.
But he basically explains the Mandela Effect and what he thinks it is, and it's kind of like a multiverse situation where everything in the galaxy is positive energy, and you can't get rid and matter can never be fully destroyed. It's turned into something else. So what he thinks happened is that CERN, the guys that are over there in Switzerland or Finland or whatever that are slamming particles together,
black holes.
Yeah, they actually created a black hole.
They split the atom.
And effectively destroyed our universe. And
Bastards.
When they did that, all the energy and the matter transferred over to the next nearest, universe
layer
in the multiverse. Yeah, which is why some people believe that this is different. For instance, I called my dad whenever after I watched this video, because I started looking up examples. You can find tons of videos of examples of the Mandela Effect online. So I went through binging them for weeks, and the one that really got me, because some of them I didn't really know about, there's Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, and Magic Mirror on the Wall. The one that really got me was the Bernstein Bears. Right? And I went and I looked at a book in my daughter's bedroom, and it said Berenstain. And I called my dad, and I'm like, dude, what were those books that you read me when I was a kid with the bear? Oh yeah, the Berenstain Bears, And I'm looking at the book right now, man. It says Berenstain. You need to get on and watch this video. I'm freaking out. The initial shock of it. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about it as real or fake, but it's terrifying to think if it were real. That's you know.
I totally agree. Now, I come from it on more the skeptic side of it. I'm always looking to try to find that unexplained weird, something that just like proves that people have been around for 100 million trillion years, and where the moon came from, and how long have we been out there searching the universe and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to Mandela Effect, I run into a lot of things like you mentioned, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall.
Yep.
If you go back to the Disney book, it actually states what the change. In the book, it's Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, who's the yada, 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 yada. Okay, so that's different than the movie. The movie states it the different way, and the book states it the way that you remember it.
Yeah.
So with that, is it likely that a lot of people just remember it because as kids we saw it as a movie?
They remember the movie version,
and they remember the
original.
Then they go back to the source, and it's not the same.
Yeah.
Right.
So I little
Scripts
things like
are
that.
often different than the book.
So I see little things like that, and that's kind of what makes me a little more skeptic. That they are shooting particles at each other and they're causing little black holes, which is ridiculous. We don't know anything about them. Honestly,
they could effectively create a black hole that destroys the entire universe.
And who knows how big it has to be to do that.
Well,
But did it go back and change the Ford logo and put a little swooshy thing on it? No, because I've never looked at the Ford logo enough to really go, okay,
Yeah. What kind of messes me up though is was talking to another one of my buddies about it, and he was already into it for a long time. We just never talked about it because I didn't know anything about it. And since CERN started colliding those particles in 2009, I want to say, something like that, archaeologists have been finding things that have been disproving basic facts about human history.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
Since then, and my argument with that, and believe me, I don't want it to be true. I hope that we're already minuscule.
Oh yeah,
in our universe, but to think that there's an infinite number of other universes, and how much smaller we are, then that's nuts to think about. But
in another universe, this show has 1 billion hits.
Yeah, so subscribe, follow,
help us get
comment, all that.
Yeah.
But the thing with me, that since 2009 and they collided those particles, the archaeologists have been finding tools that date back 20,000 years before we thought that man even was using tools, had any kind of intelligent thought. We found animal bones that date back way previous than what we thought. Everything is changing. They found I believe it was like a 30,000-year-old hammer or something like that
in the rock.
I mean, that's
now that again,
way different than what we thought.
You can't really. That's not really Mandela Effecty, because that has been around for a while as far as what they have found it. It's, you know what I mean. I'm not really thinking that's.
Well,
that's a change in anything. I just think that is a fact that mainstream science, what we're led to believe, what we're taught, has been, one, not just lying to us, but lying to us big ever since the dawn of history.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Well,
they just have. There's no way around it. They want the population to be controlled into a way that, if we knew what real history was, then people would like the Bible. Whoa, that's ridiculous. If they knew a lot of things out there, so, with that, I'll quit rambling.
Well, one of the things that I read, though, is the archaeological stuff, is that they say since it's shifted, that all those things are available to be found now that weren't available
because they weren't in that previous universe.
So that's one of the signs that now they're saying is a big deal.
Yeah, so since all of our energy came over from A to B, right?
Yeah.
That's part of and there's another argument about why some people remember, and some people are like, oh no, it's always been that. If you didn't exist in the universe that was destroyed, which is, we'll call it the original universe that everybody came from. If you didn't exist in this one, and you already existed in the one that everything went to, in the new universe, then when you came over, if there's no, I guess, matter and consciousness basically to combine and replace you, then you are never going to remember that other stuff from that other universe, because you didn't come over from it. That's why.
Or you acclimate to this universe. You've been here. You've closed your eyes a little bit. Whenever I first started looking into it, there was a lot. Like, have you seen the Dazed and Confused globe? Look into that. The Dazed and Confused globe. Whenever the students are standing around this globe in class or whatever, and they spin this thing around, it comes across Australia, and Australia is different. It's in a different place, and there's land masses that shouldn't be land masses.
Oh, really?
It's real interesting. And, you got your skeptics out there saying, well, some prop maker made a fake globe.
Made an ugly globe.
And, and I'm more of the thoughts that, okay, are they going to hire a prop maker to fabricate a globe, or are they going to go buy just a globe?
A $10 one from
exactly. So they probably just went ahead and bought a $10 globe, and some guy didn't make it specific for the movie. So with that, that is odd. There are weird things.
To me, I was just it seems very much just like the multi dimensional universes, and that they're just blaming it on the atom splitter. If you take away the atom splitter, it's almost the same as everything else. That all the other dimensions are just a little bit different. I'm a little better looking in another dimension, and the Ford logo's a little different in that dimension. But to me, as a guy who hasn't studied it a lot, it seems like the only difference to make it the Mandela effect is that splitting of the atom.
Yeah. That's the only way that we've come up to explain it, I guess. I mean, if there's so many ways that an entire, I don't want to say galaxy or universe or anything, but like our planet, for example. I mean, there's gamma ray bursters coming from stars that are billions of light years away that can just vaporize everything on our planet in 2 seconds at any given time. You know, yeah. So there's a million reasons why all that matter could be transferred over to somewhere else, into a different layer of the multiverse. You know.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I don't believe. I have a this lady right here is.
My name is Elizabeth Loftus, and I am a professor at the University of California, Irvine. I teach psychology and law, and I study human memory. Oh. And specifically, what I study is not what most people
Okay,
think
so
of
this
when
lady,
they first
she's
hear
a memory
memory.
doctor. She basically
think that you
implants
study
false memories into people's
problems,
minds, makes them
people
think.
with Alzheimer's or people
Mm-hmm.
with difficulty.
Like an old girlfriend.
Yeah.
But I study the opposite. I study people who remember things that didn't happen, or remember things differently from the way they actually occurred.
That's the same way that Skylar thinks that he remembers his dad.
Paradigms that I've used for studying
memory.
What we do is
you think that you remember something because of other people telling you stories, telling you were there, talking to you.
And that's one of the studies she did.
Yeah, that's because you don't have one of your own.
They might see the car go through a yield sign, and we suggest to them that it's a stop sign. And what happens when people are exposed to this misinformation is sometimes they will adopt it as their own memory and become convinced of it. So they'll now tell you, I saw a stop sign. They might be confident about it and detailed about it, even though it's a distorted detail.
So this lady,
what we did is to see just.
So this lady, she did this study one time where she took a kid and she had the parents take his diary, okay, and write in the diary an event that didn't happen, about a time being lost at the mall, couldn't find his parents, and traumatic stuff.
Why not add a vacation to Disney World?
Oh no, it gets better. It's like, and told him that there was like a big mean guy that approached him and was going to take him, and then his mom came up in the nick of time, and all this is in the diary, okay? And then they gave the kid the diary, and this was like his childhood diary, and they had him read through his diary and then recount the experience. And that experience that his parents made up right before they got there, he remembered it like it was yesterday. So whenever I hear stuff like people jumping on the mirror on the wall, magic mirror on the wall, well, we watch the movie or the book, whichever one is, you know, we're probably, honestly, whenever in my generation, we were read the book and we weren't exposed to the movie because we didn't have DVDs, we didn't have VCRs. We were read the book. So
stone tablets.
Yeah, so stone tablets. So if the book says one thing, that's probably what my generation is going to typically remember. Right. And then we see the movie and go, hey, it changed. Well, it never changed because I grew up that way. There's also the Volvo logo and the...
there's a bunch of logos out
and there's the Nissan logo. Well, if you look at a Nissan logo, granted the Nissan logo, nobody's mentioned it because it proves that the Volvo logo is probably what you're thinking of. You know, the Volvo logo has that little thing on the top, and they're going, it never had it. Well, if you take that off, you got the Nissan logo, which is it just has Volvo in it, which is a patented trademark. Yeah. And you're just thinking of, you see Nissan way more than Volvo. And so I look at a lot of those things like that as far as, do I believe or do I not? Well, I got to look at the whole picture and realize that there could be a lot of people that just remember something a little different. Oh yeah, because that's the way you've been taught or been repeated.
Oh yeah, I don't want to believe that. I would. I don't know. I'm not sure what way I'm convinced. You know. Yeah. up examples. You can find tons of videos of examples of the Mandela Effect online. So I went through binging them for weeks, and the one that really got me, because some of them I didn't really know about, you know, there's Mirror Mirror on the Wall, and Magic Mirror on the Wall. The one that really got me was the Bernstein Bears. Right? And I went and I looked at a book in my daughter's bedroom, and it said Berenstain. And I called my dad, and I'm like, dude, what were those books that you read me? You never know what you're going to find on the internet, but...
this show, for one.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure if that makes him a winner or not.
But he basically explains the Mandela Effect and what he thinks it is, and it's kind of like a multiverse situation where everything in the galaxy is positive energy, and you can't get rid and matter can never be fully destroyed. It's turned into something else. So what he thinks happened is that CERN, the guys that are...
Basically, I just wanted to kind of pick his brain, kind of see what he's come up with. We've never really talked about it before, you know. So I wanted to pick his brain, kind of see, you know, his conclusions, what he's come up with, and we'll just kind of put our heads together and maybe we'll come up with a rational explanation.
Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, I watched originally a video about Max Laughlin, this 13-year-old kid that he's the smartest person that I've ever seen on the internet, which is they're in Switzerland or Finland or whatever, that are slamming particles together.
Little black holes.
Yeah, they actually created a black hole.
They split the atom.
And effectively destroyed our universe. And
Bastards.
When they did that, all the energy and the matter transferred over to the next nearest, you know, universe in the multiverse. Which is why some people believe that, you know, this is different. For instance, I called my dad whenever after I watched this video, because I started looking.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Mysterious Unexplained Explained. This is Kyle and I'm Jim, and today we're going to be talking about what, Kyle?
We're going to be talking about the Mandela Effect. Hey guys, welcome back. We're here with Sean. He's kind of a fellow enthusiast, Mandela Effect enthusiast.